So if we think of Unfawning as a video game, I think the end boss would be the arrogant NHS specialist doctor. So genuine conversation I had with a gastroenterologist the other day. I went in because I've been having very severe specific gallbladder symptoms. And so I turn up at the appointment. The guy doesn't even look at me. What are your symptoms? Doesn't listen to me, barely writes anything down. Okay, get on the table. So he hits me in the ribs on the left and goes, does that hurt? And I was like, well, yes, you're hitting me in the ribs. So he hits me in the right side of my ribs and goes, does that hurt more? And I was like, a tiny bit. He goes, oh, there's nothing wrong with your gallbladder. Your pain symptoms are muscular. And I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? So I said, how did you come to that conclusion? And he said, well, because when I just examined you there, I was actually just tapping on your ribs. It had nothing to do with your gallbladder. And I'm like, this guy is trying to gaslight me. And back in the days, like, I would have fully frozen in that moment because he's an authority figure. I used to freeze up and just go, yes, doctor, thank you, bye-bye. And like, just take what they had to say as gospel. Sat there and I said, okay, but that's not the same pain that I was talking about. What you just did was you hit me in the ribs, which is obviously going to hurt, but it's not connected to the pain that I was describing earlier. So I don't accept that as a diagnosis. And then he just goes, you have IBS. And I felt the fury rise like a volcano. And I knew he was going to tell me I had IBS. And I said, no, I don't have IBS. I don't accept that. And he just said, so what exactly do you want? What treatment do you even want? And I was like, I would like a scan to see if my gallbladder is functioning. If you want to advocate for yourself, you got to get comfortable with people thinking you are a bitch, you're an inconvenience, you are a pain in the ass. In fact, you have to actually make yourself a pain in the ass. And that's why I'm saying NHS doctor, end boss, because it's pushing all the buttons, right? It's the authority figure. It's an elder male. It's a so-called expert. It's someone with lots of qualifications. I got the scan and that's what I went in there for. But had I just fawned and taken the expert advice and fawned to the authority figure, I would have gone home thinking that I have IBS, taken some bullshit medication and had no further investigation. You know, this is the stuff I teach in my containers. When we rewire your nervous system for self-authority, you don't fawn to authority figures anymore because you are your own authority. When you go and see a doctor or a therapist or somebody who's supposed to know better than you, you can hear your body. You will be able to direct your energy outwards as opposed to going into a freeze or going into a fawn. So that's the work we're doing inside Defiant Feminine. And if you want in, I have one space open. Drop me a DM. And if you face the final boss of Unfawning with NHS consultants, meet me in the comments.